Let's talk about that book that's tucked away in your glove box, your car's owner's manual. It is, without a doubt, probably the most important and yet the most unread book that you own. Come on, most of us just toss it in there and completely forget it exists. But the thing is, it's packed with critical safety warnings, secret features you didn't know you had, and emergency procedures that could seriously save you time, money, and maybe even your life. So today, we're going to pull it out, dust it off, and decode some of its biggest secrets.
Right out of the gate, from the very first pages, the manual does not mess around. This isn't just some legal jargon. This is the official definition of the word warning that's used throughout the entire book. It sets the stakes incredibly high from the get-go. We're not just talking about tips for better fuel economy. This is life or death stuff.
And that really begs the question, right? If the stakes are that high, what exactly are these secrets that are hiding in plain sight in a book we all have? Well, let's dive in and find out.
Okay, we're starting with the most crucial stuff. These are the safety warnings that are often buried in dense text, but are, and I mean this, absolutely non-negotiable for anyone who ever gets behind the wheel of a car. Just look at the language they use here. This is not a friendly recommendation. It's an all-caps, life and death command. Why? Because that front passenger airbag deploys with an absolutely immense, explosive force, and it would put a child directly in its path. The manual makes the danger terrifyingly, unmistakably clear. And it gets way more granular than just put the kids in the back. The manual has incredibly specific charts, like this one, showing exactly which kind of car seat is suitable for which position based on a child's weight. It's a science, you know? And the manual is your guide to getting it exactly right. And yeah, of course, it covers the basics that we think we all know, but seeing them laid out as official warnings really reinforces just how vital they are. The manual's #1 job is to keep you safe, and it hammers these points home again and again and again. Okay, let's move on. I want you to think of your dashboard, not just as a bunch of lights, but as a language. And the owner's manual, well, it's basically the Rosetta Stone that lets you understand what your car is trying to tell you, especially when something goes wrong. This is a perfect example. We've all seen this light, right? And we think, ugh, I need to put air in my tires. But the manual reveals this second crucial layer of meaning. If the light is steady, yep, your tire pressure is low. But if it's flashing for about a minute and then stays on, that means the tire pressure monitoring system itself is broken. A totally different problem.
Here's another one that kind of flips our expectations. When this light flashes while you're driving on a slick road, it's not a problem. It's actually your car telling you, hey, I've got this. The system is actively working to stop you from skidding. A steady light, though, well, that means the system is offline and needs to be checked out.
Now this is where it gets really specific and a little tricky. You might see two lights pop on at the same time and think you've got two separate issues, but sometimes they're speaking a combined language.
So, check this out. If you see the ABS light and the main brake warning light come on together, it points to a single, really critical failure. The system that balances the braking force between your front and back wheels is malfunctioning. Without the manual, you'd probably never connect those two dots.
All right, it's not all dire warnings and scary malfunction codes. The manual is also your guide to unlocking all these cool features that make your car more convenient and more, well, yours. Think of this as the pro tips section you never knew you had. Okay, this is a total game changer if you share your car with someone else. You can literally link your specific seat and mirror settings directly to your key fob. So the next time you unlock the car with your key, the seat automatically moves right back to your perfect spot. And the manual lays out the exact, super simple steps to set it all up.
Here's another hidden gem. Ever get home late and wish your headlights would just stay on for a few seconds to light your path to the door? Well, guess what? The feature is probably already built in. The manual calls it a welcome home feature, and it's usually as simple as a quick pull on the turn signal stalk after you shut the car off. What about this? You know that little ceremony when you start the car, where the speedometer and tachometer needles swing all the way to the max and back? Some people love it, sure, but what if you find it kind of distracting?
Yep, you can turn it off. Deep in the settings menu, which the manual will point you to, there's often an option for gauge initial movement or something similar. It's just another one of those small details that shows how much control you actually have over your car's behavior if you just know where to look. Okay, let's switch gears back to a more serious topic.
When things go wrong on the road, knowing the correct procedure is absolutely critical, and this is where the manual can save you from making a bad situation so much worse. And one of the biggest, most expensive mistakes you can possibly make involves getting your car towed, especially if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle.
This is a direct quote. And for anyone with an all-wheel drive car, it might be one of the most important warnings in the entire book. Towing an AWD vehicle like this can cause catastrophic, expensive damage to the drivetrain. We're talking about an error that can cost you thousands of dollars to fix.
And here's the solution, plain and simple. The only completely safe way to tow an all-wheel drive vehicle is on a flatbed truck, where all four wheels are off the ground. It's unambiguous. So if a tow truck ever shows up with a dolly for your AWD car, you now know to say, no thanks. And speaking of roadside trouble, what about driving on that little temporary spare tire, the donut? The manual gives you a hard, non-negotiable limit. You should never, ever go faster than 80 kilometers per hour or 50 miles per hour. That thing is just not designed for highway speeds, and pushing it is a huge safety risk. So, as we've seen, when you really dig into it, this isn't just a glossary of parts or some boring booklet of legal disclaimers. It is so much more than that.
Really, it's about empowering you. It's the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of this complex machine you operate every single day. It gives you the knowledge to be safer, to actually use all the features you paid for, and to handle any emergency the right way.
And all of this leaves us with one last thought to chew on. If this much valuable, critical, and useful information is hiding in the manual for your car, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other instruction books, user guides, or sets of rules in our lives are we ignoring? And what potential are we leaving on the table because of it?